Hello, Star Lovelies. It's a great time to be a soul. Today we're talking about
Hi there, loving alchemist. Here are your sneaky ways of lack and the hacks just for you. Now, you are a powerful, abundant creator, and yet you still can get swept up in juggling projects and dealing with to-do lists and all the administrative things that it comes with running a business. And so when that happens to you, these sneaky ways of lack come in, and obviously sneaky, you're not aware of them. And so they're undercutting your ability to be that beautiful, abundant, magnetic powerhouse that you are. And so I've gone through the overall 10 sneaky ways of lack in that podcast that will be in the show notes. So if you want to listen to all of them and get a general sense so that you can make sure that that none of them are inhibiting you, that's great. But I'm picking the top one for you first, and then I'm looking at the next 3 that every signature has, but looking through it through your lens, loving alchemist. So your first biggest one is actually the second most popular one, and that is the hustle trap. So oftentimes it's not the work hard and pay your dues mentality that's going through your mind. It's really more subversive than that. It's more that you're looking at how you're in alignment or out of alignment in certain situations that isn't really even the lens for you to have. So the grindingness comes in for you when you are, in a situation where you've been positioned as part of a panel maybe, or you've gotten people into your own container and you're doing this beautiful fireside chat, or you're doing this really luscious, free group offering. And yet what comes to you during the time or right before the time is to either like pull back on your offer or think you have to work harder to give it. This is not where you want to be. You want to be able to receive the same value that you give. And you do give so much value that you don't know how to open up your receiving container to receive it in kind. This isn't about lacking grace. This isn't about not being able to give compliments. This isn't about, not saying thank you. That can be for other signatures. For you, it's about celebrating your wins, big and small, and sharing those celebrations with others and remembering that when you go into that invitation or that offer or that sales cycle. Now, that's your particular hack. Now, as I said, I'm going to go through 3 others, and these are shared by everyone. There is no limit to judgment. There's no limit to not investing in yourself. There's no limit to holding on to your story in ways that aren't helpful. Those are the 3. And I'm going to go through them each individually and then go through what your hack is. So let's start with judging. This is that inner critic that comes, right? And so a lot of times you can be judging yourself or you can be judging others. And anytime we drop into judgment, we are making something or someone smaller. Obviously, the inner critic, we're making ourselves smaller, not helpful. So what we want to do is we want to get out of that judgment container. You are really aligned with judgment because you were judged so much when you were younger. Most typically, that's what I find with loving alchemists. Why? Because your power wasn't really understood. Your intuition and your ability to know things, to be able to see things for truly what they are, that honesty was stamped out of you. And it was could have been done lovingly. It was done unintentionally. It was, we don't say things like that. Let's be kinder. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. And merely you're just thinking, I was just telling the truth. Like these 2 people don't like each other. Why are they smiling at each other? They don't even like each other, right? And such that innocent comment when you're 4 years old and you just get conditioned out of making them. So you had that internal dialogue like completely dialed in, but it didn't have any place to go. So that has turned into judgment for you. So instead of being used to making yourself small, instead of being used to, giving false platitude or ignoring a situation that is, could be even blowing up out there and you're the witness to it, Really own your honesty. Be precise in your language. Understand you're so good at it now, like understanding and appreciating when to say something and when not to say something. And you're not going to be unkind. But speaking the truth is one of your superpowers. And so being able to speak that truth gives you that relief so that it eases through the judgment. So then that starts going away. Give yourself an interrupting, kind of safe word for yourself when you find yourself turning that judgment inward and making yourself small. Talk to yourself and literally cheer yourself on. Wear a beautiful, gorgeous, I like to wear amethyst, right? So like wear some amethyst to remind yourself, maybe it's a worry stone, maybe it's a bracelet, maybe it's a necklace, and you just, that's your touch tone to say, oops, guess what? I'm judging myself. I'm not going to want to do that, because you want to interrupt the cycle. So as you're practicing of letting this go, and as you're practicing, speaking the truth in kind ways, and really being that cheerleader and interrupting yourself to be the inner cheerleader, you're going to find judgment just withers away. And you're going to find so many more people are interested in you and who you are and your powerful magic. Now, the next one is about investing in yourself. And again, we all have this issue. We tend to either overinvest or underinvest. And having that discernment of knowing what, when, where, and who to invest in is not difficult. It's not difficult for you, because you're not going to do anything unless you trust somebody. So you're going to make sure that they have the bandwidth or they have the chops for something. I was talking to one of my loving Alchemist clients today, and I simply adore her. And what she said to me was, "Oh, I love working with you because you're not the sizzle, you're the sage." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I adore that. I'm going to totally take that. Do you mind if I start saying that?" She's like, "No, but it's so true. You can go to the depths that I need you to go to. You have the expertise that I can draw on." Like, loving Alchemist, you are looking for those people that have the expertise. You're looking for those sages and those wise ones. You're looking for people that have, think 20 years or more, or the equivalent of it. You're never going to go for that sizzle, which serves you so well, because your discerning factor is between someone who's really excellent at something and somebody who's super excellent at something. And so for you, it's about what will feel beneficial to me right now, what pushes me beyond my comfort zone, what helps me step into the unfamiliar, but still puts me center stage and still fills me up beyond imagining. And really having people that can go as deep and be as powerful as you are and really open you up to your full potential is who you want to be hanging out with and who you want to be asking to be your guide. Okay, now the next one is about your story. You own your story, you tell your story. However, a lot of times what ends up happening is it becomes somewhat rote to you. Like, it's an ever evolving scenario, right? I'm not saying you're rewriting a story, because we're not giving up like where you've been and what you've done. However, allowing your growth, because you're always pursuing it, and allowing that to be a facet that you then say yes to, it was going to help you go to the next level. So a lot of times we have our story, and you can even hear it when you're in a group and people are telling it, or they start like dropping into a certain monochromatic dialogue when you feel like, oh, because it's become just so rote. When you find yourself doing it, it's like you almost hit on autopilot. Say to yourself, uh-oh, there's something new that I want to add to this. There's something more here. There's something more delicious that I want to own, because you want to give away those things that no longer fit you, but you want to take on those things that absolutely do. And because you're in that beautiful, ever-evolving, everlasting growth cycle, this is never going to stop. So make a plan to revisit your story, to rewrite parts of it. So these were your 4 top sneaky ways of lack with hacks just for you, loving Alchemist. And I am so thankful that I get to be part of your journey, because honestly, this is an honor for me. So thank you so much for subscribing, for rating, for reviewing, and for sharing with intimate friends. Happy soul tidings.
Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more ways to use the stars strategically to align with your soul purpose, reclaim your power, and increase your prosperity. Please rate and review your favorite episodes, And remember to check out my website at kimwoods.com for my latest forecasts, articles, and offerings. To find out your intuitive success signature, take my 12-question Do You Know, Like, and Trust Yourself quiz and find out how you're living your stars at yourstarmaptosuccess.com. I've so enjoyed our time together as it's filled with the power of the stars plus strategy to clear the pathway to your success. Until next time, happy soul tidings.